have two trades, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and some interesting macro analysis for Ethereum, which I'm going to get into at the end of this video. But first, let's give you some updates on the BTC trades and analysis. And what I see is actually, what I didn't see yesterday, is a bull flag pattern formation. And you can see this in the 4 hour. And the flag body looks something like this. That's the support, and the resistance like that. And then we can see that the flag pole extends from this point, 118, down to around 108. And the interesting thing about this, well, first of all, what makes it valid? We have 3 touch points on the support and the resistance, and we have the flag pole extending further than the flag body, which I always like to see. But what's interesting is that our price target, which we can see by translating the flagpole over here, is pretty much in perfect confluence with the price target, or the next resistance, the important resistance we have to overcome at 118k. Recap from yesterday, we talked about overcoming this 118,000 US dollar resistance so that we can take us up to a much needed, or much more important, long-term 130k resistance channel that we're in on the daily time frame. So that's a bull pattern formation which can take us to 118,000 US dollar price target. Yesterday we just talked about the resistance that we overcame, but now we have some confidence in actually getting there, because we can see a pattern which is actually broken out. It's not just any resistance, with a solid price target in confluence with that level. So that's interesting to see for Bitcoin, and gives us confidence in holding our position. But now I have an Ethereum trade, a new one, and the macro analysis, which I'll get into now. This is the macro analysis. On the daily, what I see is a pattern potentially repeating itself. We saw earlier in April that we had this run up before we started seeing this bull flag formation. Then we came below it, actually closing below the EMA ribbon. The bands contracted, they got closer together, and we ended up closing below it, seemingly entering a downtrend, before we actually realized this was a fake out, and we ran towards the upside in a very strong way. Now, the exact same thing could be happening again. The EMA ribbon, the yellow is above the red. We're in a bullish uptrend. We're seeing a strong rise towards the upside. Then we see this channel formation, bull flag kind of formation. We dip below it. We close below the EMA ribbon again. They contract. And then do we see another leg towards the upside? I think it's pretty interesting to see that 3 or 4 of these patterns are seen in both, or the phases and the characteristics of phase 1 are repeating themselves in phase 2. We have the run up, we have the parallel fluctuation, we have the dip below the EMA ribbon and the contraction. Then the next phase for us to see a strong run up towards the upside would be closing a daily green candle above the EMA ribbon within the next week. That would be awesome. But on the immediate time frame, trades that I see is potentially bearish. If we don't close a daily or a weekly candle, or a daily candle this week above the EMA ribbon, and we close below it, and we continue to get rejected by the EMA ribbon towards the downside. And how this could play out is, instead of a bull flag, we see a bear flag. So from 4,700 down to 3,800 is the flag pole, 4 hour time frame flag pole, and the flag body looks like this. Parallel lines of support and resistance, 3 touch points, and our price target for this one, if we break out below the support at around 4,100, would be down at 3,500. So this is a pretty big trade. Let's measure it. 15% unleveraged trade, and that is the one I would be targeting next for Ethereum. That brings us to the end of the video. Hope you did take some value out of the video, and if you did, hit the notification bell. And until next time, bye bye.